Welcome to the big game. I'm Joseph LaGrange alongside Jeb Babcock. On this episode, we'll tell you how baseball and softball are doing as they swing into conference play.
And we'll also tell you about the new coordinator running the defense for the Lions football team.
But first, let's take a look at how the Lions baseball team played in a recent contest. Following a tough 13-run loss to in-state rival Tulane, the Lions baseball team bounced back with a big win against Jackson State. Anessa de la Cruz went to the diamond and has the recap.
The Lions baseball team clinched a home win against Jackson State 11-5 on Wednesday. Although the game started off slow, the Lions pulled away from the Jags, scoring 3 home runs in the 5th inning alone, 2 of which were back-to-back. Jacob Williams contributed by scoring his first home run of the season in that 5th inning.
Well, it felt great. I'm not a huge power guy, so I was just trying to stay up the middle, and I pretty much accidentally hit it, so it was pretty cool.
Although the Jackson State match was not a conference game, the Lions needed a spark going into the 3-game series against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. After dropping the last 2 sweep opportunities, Coach Matt Reiser felt this win would fuel a much-needed conference sweep.
It's big. Every midweek game is big for us, no matter who the opponent, and I think this one's a little bit even bigger because, after last night's loss at Tulane was tough. The biggest thing we need to do is get out there as quick as possible, and it was good to see the guys respond with a little bit different attitude today.
After winning last year's Southland Conference Championship, veteran players know what it takes to make a run for another title. Junior infielder Daniel Midiot believes that if the team can continue to compete, they can win yet another conference championship.
What we're doing is we're just coming out every day, trying to compete every pitch, trying to get some guys on the mound, see if they can come out and compete, and we really did that tonight.
The win against Jackson State proved to set the tone as the Lions got back on track and won the 3-game series against Corpus over the weekend, giving them the sweep they were looking for. The next series will be against university rival Nicholls State, followed by another series against Northwestern State. If the Lions can continue to sweep conference rivals, that will put them in good standing as they reach the halfway mark of conference play. And as Coach Matt Reiser would say, the key is consistency.
We got to be more consistent. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that we're seeing from a day-to-day basis. We had kind of the fluke, so to speak, there against Incarnate Word, and then we allowed that to affect us the following week, and we dropped another sweep. And you do, in order to win the conference outright in the regular season, you got to be able to sweep and take all 3 games. And we've got to find a way to do that. The only way to do that right now is be more consistent mentally. Right now, mentally, I don't think we're showing up every single day. If we can find a way to do that with the group we got, the talent's there to do it, we just got to do it from a mental aspect.
The Lions got a momentum win against Jackson State, and as they move further in the Southland, they'll be looking to clinch another championship. For the big game, I'm Anessa de la Cruz.
The baseball team takes the diamond next against ULM for the Hometown Heroes game right here in Hammond.
Southland Conference opponent Abilene Christian recently came to Hammond's Pat Keneally Diamond for a 3-game series. Madison pulled and tracked the weekend series and has the results.
It was a clean sweep for the Southeastern Lions on Sunday as they rounded out their Southland Conference series with Abilene Christian 11-0. The Friday before, the Lions took on the Wildcats and walked away with the first win of the series 11-3. And on Saturday, the turnout wasn't what Lion fans hoped to see as the Wildcats took the win 9-2. A big part of the win for the Lions on Sunday was the pitching of Kyle Sedetaw. He left the 7th inning with a no-hitter and struck out a career high of 14 batters. His teammates had high praises for him.
Kyle Sedetaw came out here and just throwing strikes, and they really just couldn't touch him. Ended up getting 2 hits, but we're all hoping he's going to get that no-hitter. But the cutter today for him was just a great pitch, and they never could make an adjustment on it.
Just like any successful team, Sedetaw had all the help and support from his teammates that he needed. The first inning was quiet as neither team had any runs, but the second inning is when the real party started. Kevin Carr doubled to left field and then advanced to third on a wild pitch. With a single up the middle by Chris Eads, Carr took home base for the Lions. With 2 outs in the second inning, the Lions scored 3 more times going into the third inning 4-0. The third inning was a slow one as the Wildcats nor the Lions scored. But in the 4th inning, Jacob Seward scored on a wild pitch. Carr struck out swinging but reached first on a wild pitch, advancing Daniel Midiet to third and leaving Jacob Williams to score. And to wrap up the scoring for the bottom of the 4th, Midiet scored after Brett Hoffman singled to the right field. In the 5th inning, the Lions scored 3 more times by Byer scoring on error, Maynard scoring, and Seward scoring unearned after Midiet flied out to center field. Abilene Christian got their first hit in the 6th inning and singled to third base, but still struck out. Southeastern saw no hits in the 6th inning after grounding out. The game going into the 7th inning, the Wildcats got one more hit but no runs and left the Lions with the victory, even with the bad luck from the day before.
I thought we responded really well to yesterday. We were in a 2-2 ball game yesterday, gave up 7 runs in the 9th inning in a tight one, and just really didn't like the mentality yesterday. I thought they were mentally tougher than us yesterday, and challenged the guys after the ball game come out and show that they're mentally tough. They did. They did a good job coming out. We scored early. We scored often.
The Lions had no mercy on Abilene Christian today as they claimed the series victory after winning their first game 11-3. With a lot of no-hitters, strikeouts, and pretty much a flawless game, the Lions head off into the rest of their season, hoping to hold on to their Southland Conference title. For the big game, I am Madison Pullen.
Southeastern's next conference weekend is right here in Hammond against in-state rival Nicholls State on March 27th through 29th.
The Lady Lions welcomed Mississippi State to the North Oaks Park Diamond for a tough match recently. The softball team looked excited in pregame warm-ups, but that was the only excitement of the night. The Lady Bulldogs scored 5 runs in the first inning, but the Lady Lions returned the favor and scored 1 run in the bottom of the first. That would be their only run of the night. Mississippi State would drive in 7 more runs in the second and 4 more in the fifth to tally a Bulldog win at 16-1. The Lady Lions look to bounce back against conference opponent Stephen F. Austin in Texas for a 3-game series.
The Southeastern track team traveled to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for a rainy 3-day competition last week. The women's 4x100 meter team led the way with a 4th place finish, while the men's team placed 5th in the same event. 7 other Lions placed within the top 12 of their respective divisions. While the relays were not scored, head coach Sean Brady said he would have walked away very happy and that the team is coming together well. The track team will return to action as the Texas relays are on March 25th. When we return, we'll take a look at football and the new man in charge of Southeastern's defense. Don't go anywhere.
The Southeastern channel offers a lot for sports fans.
Coaches shows, interviews with student athletes.
Football games, baseball games, basketball games.
I enjoy watching the coaches' insight programs after the online tracks because it does give our fans an insight of what happened during the game.
I enjoy watching the big game. You know, it gives me an opportunity to keep up with Southeastern athletics on a weekly basis. You know, not just football, baseball, basketball, but even the smaller sports, you know, like soccer and volleyball.
One of the things I've enjoyed most through the years watching is the production of the glory years.
It's a history, it's a documentation of where we've come from around here.
Solidified the reason why we brought Southeastern football back.
When the Southeastern channel replays games, it helps the students be able to catch up and see what's going on.
I like to watch the baseball games and the football games.
It's the only time I get to watch Southeastern football is I get to see it on television. I don't ever have time to go.
Even athletics can be an educational experience when you involve the Southeastern channel.
Welcome back to the big game. Coming off of their 2nd consecutive conference title, the football coaching staff wasn't expected to make any changes, but instead, they wound up exceeding expectations. Let's go to big game reporter Taylor Rubach for the scoop on the new man at the defensive helm.
Thanks, Jen. The Lions football team certainly has a lot to look forward to for their new 2015 season. They have a new defensive coordinator, Blake Williams, who is also the defensive coordinator for the St. Louis Rams. Williams led the football championship subdivision in pass defense efficiency. Although there are several Lions players not returning, they still have the 2-time All-American cornerback Harlan Miller, along with his teammates Micah Eugene, Denzel Thompson, and Jordan Batiste, who have stepped up for the Lions. Their first scrimmage was last Saturday, and defense have put up 2 sacks and 1 interception, really battling against each other in hopes of preparing themselves for this first spring game this Saturday at Strawberry Stadium. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Taylor. The golf team kept their top 10 season standing alive while playing at the Border Olympics in Laredo, Texas. The Lions finished in 7th place as a team and led the competition with 55 birdies, but they couldn't post a solid tournament as a team. According to head coach Tim Baldwin, junior Eamon Bradley led the way with the 3 under par final round to finish 6th. The Lions' Grady Brame finished in a tie for 34th with the teammate Lawrence Allen. The golf team's next competition is the Lone Star Intercollegiate in San Antonio.
Southeastern's tennis team recently blanked Southeast Missouri in a non-conference match 6-0. Renee Vurial started the nights winning with a 2-set victory, only to be followed by 4 victories from freshmen. Margot Kaltenbacher completed the shutout with another 2-set victory. Southeast Missouri fell to 1-11 on the year, while Southeastern improved to 7-2. The tennis team will take the court again against Southland Conference foe Incarnate Word. When we return, Matt Flores will join us for some pick and roll. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the big game. This time we are welcoming Matt Flores to the desk for pick and roll. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
All right, first we're going to touch a little bit on baseball. Jen, what's it going to take for the baseball team to return to a conference championship?
Well, I think that, they're on the right road. They're on the right path. They just got the first conference sweep against Corpus Christi. Senior Brett Hoffman got hitter of the week a few weeks ago. Kevin Carr is another senior who's Southland player of the week. So I think they're doing the right things.
Yeah, they're going to be a pretty good opponent in the conference. Matt?
They've had a pretty strong season so far. As defending champs, you have a lot of expectations of them. And, they've been doing a pretty good job of keeping up with those. They lost some key players like Andrew Godbold and Andrew Chatura from last year, but they've also had younger players step up, like Kyle Sedadal has been pitching some really strong games, and like she was saying, Kevin Carr, And so those younger players stepping up is really going to be important. And they're going to need to continue to play hard in order to have a successful season.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a good fighting chance. All right, we're going to switch over to softball. Jen, they're pretty dominant in conference so far, but how do you think the rest of the season is going to fare out?
Yeah, softball's really playing with my emotions because they're 12-16 overall, but 7-1 in conference, which is killer. So they've played some bottom of the barrel teams, and they play a really hard Stephen F team this weekend. So this weekend I think will really prove what they're going to be in conference.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty tough road for them ahead. Matt, what are your thoughts?
Kind of like what she was saying, that 7-1 record is kind of misleading because they have been playing some of their weaker opponents. And coming up pretty soon here, they're going to be playing teams like Central Arkansas, McNeese, and Lamar, who are all undefeated right now. So definitely they're going to have to step up what they've been doing. And we'll just have to see, how they do.
All right. Let's go into football. Jen, the spring game is coming up. What do you think is going to who do you think is going to step up this year as far as all the players go, with players leaving now? Who do you think is going to take those roles?
The spring game will be huge to see, obviously, who stands up, like you said. So with Brian Bennett leaving, which is one of the biggest leaders on the field, Larry Cutbirth is the new guy from junior colleges. He was #1 in the nation, so they really need him to step up, as well as players such as Jeff Smiley, people on the offense who can really catch the ball, run the ball, whatever they need.
Okay, Matt?
Yeah. I think, like she was saying, I'm definitely interested to see how Larry Cutbirth steps up in the Brian Bennett spot. But also not just the players, but the coaching staff as well, with new defensive coordinator Blake Williams. We'll have to see how he handles his new role and how the players respond to him as a coach. They've had a lot of success during spring scrimmages, and we'll see how they do in the game and see if they can go for that three-peat.
Yeah, having a new coach definitely brings a different atmosphere to the team. So, all right, Jen, March Madness, there are a lot of bracket changes for a lot of people, so what do you think?
Yeah, right. I guess within the first 24 hours, something like 0.2% of people's brackets were correct after that. So, there's two huge upsets recently. 2 number 14 seeds beat 2 number 3 seeds. This tournament's crazy. Everybody sees UK going all the way, but you never know who could pull an upset.
Right. Matt, your thoughts?
Speaking of upsets, I'm really excited about the Kentucky-West Virginia game. I think West Virginia's got a pretty good shot at this. They have a trapping full court press, which is top in the nation for defensive turnovers, and they're top 5 for rebounds off the backboard. So they're just going to have to maintain possession of the ball, keep it away from Kentucky, and I think if they do that, they have a pretty good shot of winning that.
It's anyone's game now. Let's go for a step up in basketball and the Pelicans. What's going to happen with them?
Pelicans, same thing, playing with my emotions. They are a number 10 seed, but the number 8 seed has 2 starters out. OKC, including Kevin Durant. So, I think the Pelicans can do it if they stay consistent.
What they need to do is focus on staying healthy and maybe rebuilding and have some more success next season.
And keep striving, yeah. All right, well, that'll do it for this little rendition of the big game. For the latest in Southeastern athletics, you can visit www.linesports.net. For Matt Flores and Jim Babcock, I'm Joseph LaGrange. We'll see you next time.